Hello everybody and welcome to the Tuesday edition of Video Clips, and just a couple of announcements. This is holiday week, 4th of July is this week, so we're only going to do one video clip for Tuesday, and I'll say something else about the holiday at the end of this broadcast. And we won't be posting anything on the website this week because it's a holiday, but next week we'll start with a whole new July-August calendar, and I'm really excited because some interesting folks that I've gotten to know have written a book on diet and infertility, and that'll be one of the first interviews that we post. So anyway, I'll give you more information about that next week when I'm back at you, but not too much new going on in the middle of the summer and with the heat and a holiday and all that sort of thing. Not too much new stuff happening this week. All right, so I chose two topics that I think are, one's really important to talk about, the other is just really interesting to talk about. And it has to do with this Dr. Oz situation that some of you might have been reading about in the last couple of weeks in the newspaper and seen it on television. Gosh, I've been addressing confusion and misinformation generated by the Dr. Oz show for as long as he's been on the air. And I continue to remind people that, in my opinion, he's an entertainer. And that's not an awful thing, it's just the problem is he presents himself as a doctor and the advice comes off as medical advice, and it really isn't that. The website and his show are not a reliable source of information about diet and health or medicine, in my opinion, but most people don't know this, and they actually think this guy is dispensing trusted advice that they can take on his daily TV show. Well, finally, Oz has been forced to acknowledge that he's misled people in front of a U.S. Senate committee hearing about false and deceptive advertising of weight loss products. And Oz was taken to task by Chairman Claire McCaskill for the claims that he made about weight loss products on his show. During the hearing, Oz stated that his comments about things like green coffee extract and weight loss supplements was sometimes flowery. That's actually the term he used. I don't know what that means, but he seems to be proud of the fact, and he mentioned it several times, that he never mentions specific product names and he doesn't mention company names. And when he defended himself on this issue, he said, "I wanted to stay above the fray, so that opened up a huge market for folks to make stuff and use my name to try to sell it." Well, when asked, the committee members asked him, well, why don't you just say this is a good product or that's a good company? He says doctors should sell products. Are you kidding me? I mean, he lists raspberry ketone on his website as a good weight loss product, talked about it on his show, and talked about Garcinia cambogia, and he thinks that the ethical line is that he doesn't sell products. Well, I've written about this quite a bit in the past. We have plenty of people who don't sell products, dispensing incompetent advice every day. So whether or not somebody is a reliable source of information has nothing to do with, in my opinion, whether or not they sell products. Well, McCaskill wasn't impressed, and this is a quote from what she said. "I cannot figure this out," she said. "I get that you do a lot of good on your show. I understand that you give a lot of information that's great information about health in a way that's very understandable. But I don't get why you feel the need to say this stuff because you know it's not true. So why, when you have this amazing megaphone and this amazing ability to communicate, why would you cheapen your show by saying these things?" His response, and this you won't believe, he says he believes in the products he talks about, but, quote, "I recognize that oftentimes they don't have the scientific muster to pass as fact." He also said that he thinks his job is to be a cheerleader for the audience, which means that he often gives hope to people, which is not well supported. In other words, he's not above giving false hope. But, oh my gosh, we can't sell products. But he acknowledged that there are no miracle pills and that diet and exercise are the key to weight loss. I mean, it seems like he knows better. He just can't bring himself to do the right thing on his TV show. Well, McCaskill went on to say, and this is a terrible thing to have said to you in a public setting like this, she said, "The scientific community is almost monolithic against you in terms of the efficacy of a few products you've called miracles. When you feature a product on your show, it creates what has become known as the Dr. Oz effect, dramatically boosting sales and driving scam artists to pop up overnight using false and deceptive ads to sell questionable products." And that's in fact what this hearing was all about. In the case of green coffee, which was the subject of the hearing too, one company showed footage from the Dr. Oz show in which he talked about the benefits of the product. And the FTC has accused this company and other companies that make this product and similar ones of making false claims. Now, Oz took zero responsibility for this, claiming the whole problem is based on his trying to do the right things by not naming specific product and company names. And as I was listening to this, I was thinking, you know, Oz would be great in politics. He is just a master at diverting the issue away from his mistakes and wrongdoing and paying attention to something else. I mean, his advice is wrong, whether he lists the company name and product name or not. Now, to just mitigate this a little bit, I have some sympathy for Oz. Being grilled by government isn't fun. I've been there. But perhaps he will rethink the content of his show and his website, and I'm hoping, I don't wish him any harm, but I'm hoping that this type of information will help consumers start to understand that this is not a medical show. This is an entertainment show. If you like him and you like the audience interaction and all that kind of stuff, okay, turn it on, but my gosh, you don't make decisions about your diet and your health based on what happens there. All right, so anyway, let's go on to the next thing. Let's talk about some happy news. Actually, this is happy news for me because I sure do spend a lot of time addressing this, but here's some really happy news, and that is that what you eat can actually have a lot to do with how your body processes toxins. Not the first time I've talked about it, but this new study is really interesting. So let's just start at the beginning. I think that a common concern with people who want to enjoy optimal health is the effect of toxins on health, and it's a valid question, but the disturbing reality is that we have always been exposed to toxins. We are always going to be exposed to toxins. It's going to happen every day unless we just live in a sterilized bubble, and I don't know about you, that does not sound like fun to me. Well, Dr. T. Colin Campbell's research at Cornell showed in his animal experiments that exposure to a cancer-causing chemical was less important in whether or not the rats developed cancer than how much animal protein they ate. So this isn't the first time that this issue has come up or been talked about. But the study that I'm going to reference or report today included 291 participants who lived in a non-farming province in China, about 50 miles from Shanghai. Now, you may have seen pictures of this. I think a lot of people did prior to the Olympics in China. Some Chinese cities are so polluted that is almost like nighttime in the middle of the day. You literally can't see. So this is a good place to do this type of thing. So study participants were divided into two groups. One group was given a drink that was made of water, pineapple, and lime juice, and the other was given a beverage that had freeze-dried broccoli sprout powder. The people who drank the broccoli beverage showed a 61% increase in their excretion of benzene, a carcinogen in air pollution, and a 23% increase in excretion of acrolein, a lung irritant, also in polluted air. These excretion levels were sustained at that higher level for the entire 12-week period that the study went on. The researchers attributed this effect to two phytochemicals that are found in broccoli and broccoli sprouts and stated that these phytochemicals increase the activity of enzymes that in turn improve the body's ability to eliminate toxins. And so some of you might have taken my detoxification course that I taught a couple weeks ago. And we actually discussed this, that the diet that you eat really determines whether or not your body is able and capable of eliminating toxins or tends to either turn them into even more dangerous chemicals or store them. So we should all remain concerned about the air pollution and protecting the environment, but the reality is when we're talking about human health, which is my field, my specialty, we're a whole lot better off focusing on the immediate issue that can help a lot, which is what you put in your mouth at the next meal that can help empower your body to get rid of toxins that you are inevitably going to be exposed to. And broccoli sprouts, pretty powerful foods for doing just that, but so are all other plant foods. All right, that's all for today and for the week because I'm going on vacation and I will be gone until next week. And then I'll be back at you with more programming. So for the 4th of July, be safe, be careful. Don't eat anything I wouldn't eat. When you're getting ready to reach for something you know is off plan, just hear my little voice in the back of your head telling you, yeah, you probably aren't going to feel so good in the morning if you have that after all. So as usual, pass this on to anybody who you think would enjoy watching it, and I will speak with you again next week.